Okay. Good. Morning, everybody. I am Bill Canada, Custer County Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And it is 9:01 and we'll commence with this meeting. Please turn your phones off if you got them on. And we will call the meeting to order and stand for the pledge, please.
Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
It's always delightful.
I put Dan directly in touch with you. Okay.
All right, please join me for the invocation. Lord, we just thank you for this day and we thank you for the business that we're about to conduct. I pray that you would bring us wisdom and knowledge and understanding on the decisions we have to make. I pray that you bless our citizens and bless this county community. Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Lucas. Roll call, Kelly.
Commissioner Canada.
Here.
Commissioner F.
Present.
Commissioner Vogelsong.
Here.
County Attorney Dan Slater.
Here.
BOCC admin Caitlin Womack. Here. And clerk to the board Kelly Campbell present.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Audience introduction. Jim.
All done. Gilbert.
Chairman Shaplin.
And we got a couple online.
Rob.
Just Rob. Okay, thank you. Okay, any amendments, Lucas?
Yeah, we need to, the workforce housing developer MOU, we need to move that to February 11th. And then the AgriHub Hanson Hall lease, I've not received back from the owner of that building. His attorney's looking it over now, so we'll have to move that to a future agenda.
Yeah, what's on that? What do we?
So that's a space to lease for the AgriHub for selling basically our raw products that are farmers, ranchers, greenhouse people sell or produce. So yeah, it's part of that grant that we got, yeah, to put something like that together. So
Okay, so February 11th, and then we'll do this when you.
I don't know quite yet when we'll do that one. Depends on, it will probably put that towards the end of the month.
So no real rush.
Now, because we're gonna do it month by month
Right.
lease, so.
Okay, anything from you, Paul?
No.
Okay, all right, with that, how come we don't have any minutes?
Been gone.
No, you were gone all week.
Was.
Okay, no minutes and commissioner items, Paul.
A couple of things, planning on going down and be with Wet Mountain Fire this evening or tomorrow evening for their meeting down there for the firehouse in Wetmore area there. And then also the EMS down there is still kind of in who, what, when, and where. So we're trying to iron out some wrinkles on that because actual Florence says that they're not gonna cover it anymore. That was prior to. We're gonna see if we can have them as a second call for the ambulance service and have the EMS up here actually take care of that area. So the board's looking at the clinic and also fire department. So I'll be down there tomorrow and have more information in the next meeting.
Very confusing, because Florence told us 2 years ago they weren't gonna do it.
Right.
And
We haven't.
somehow it's been going on somehow. We had a lot of meetings with the board commissioners and the hospital board as well as the.
That was an agreement between.
And they made a evidently an unofficial agreement that didn't work out.
So we're still in them.
Okay, thank you. Lucas?
We met with the weed board, last week, Thursday. We've got $30,000 in the budget for them. They applied for a $15,000 grant. Fremont County is not going to do our spraying this year. So we are trying to get a hold of a guy that may do it. He's showed interest in the past, so we'll see if we can get him to do it. And then the rest of it, is a cost share.
Who's that? Is that Orfano County or
No,
Cordova?
somebody that used to be out of Teller, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I had
exactly
that.
where they live right now, but. They're contacting that person to see if he's willing to do it or not. If not, then we'll have to find somebody else, so, yeah. Attended the Fremont County's E911 meeting, we are $40,000 short. And I don't know how many years we've been short of, so each authority's responsibility is to route the calls that people make on 911 calls, route them to dispatch, then dispatch takes them, but our responsibility or the authority's responsibility is to route those calls. Fremont County started doing it somewhat by the CRCA IGA that got put together, but it's not very clear. And we only had an informal agreement between Custer's E911 authority and Fremont's. So they would like to combine, both Buck Wenzel and I, chair and vice chair, were down there and we discussed this with them. They are willing to, throw in, GIS services for the 911 side of dispatch. So we're going to sit down, Buck and I, tomorrow and talk with Randy Lesher, who's chair of Fremont County's E911 authority, and see what kind of agreement we put together. But it would mean dissolving both boards and then combining
In theory,
boards
that's
together.
it's supposed to be an independent board anyway, and that would be the way to do it.
So we'll see what we come. It's
Been sort of acting like that all along, right?
Yeah, so we just need to formalize it. Combining it would give us more,
Voting power.
more power over Lumen, to discuss some things with Lumen. It would give us, we would have 2 spots on the board, they would have 5, but it's really 5 entities that have a position on a board, and we have 2 entities. We'd have to decide what those entities are, so whether that's, it should be at least a commissioner, but we'll discuss through that, and then we'll probably have a 911 authority meeting here coming up soon, so.
Was the commissioner, I don't think the commissioner in Fremont County had voting.
Yep, they
She
do.
was sitting.
No, but she has,
She had.
Yeah. yeah, and they both want a commission.
Should have a vote and.
Been talking with Baseline Engineering and Dan Slater to get a little bit of language cleaned up, so we'll review that later, that they're gonna do all our bid packages for the sidewalk project out in front of the courthouse. Vernon and I met with Redlands, consulting, contracting about their contract. We're gonna have them do some different things. They're gonna put an RFP together for going out for an auditor after our audit's done this year. Because that ends their contract that we have with Garen Ross and Bernardo. So they should be getting that contract back to us here soon, and that'll be on an agenda item coming up.
On that subject, and yeah. At some point, do you envision that we will not be using Lisa and at some point to check on things or a new auditor?
Unless we would pull in our own accountant. And have a salaried accountant, I don't see ever
And
getting rid of them or another
I think it's
contractor like that.
check. I think that's great.
So they're doing basically it's kind of set up, they do and they don't just work for us or for the finance department, they're also working for Virginia.
Right.
So they're kind of split up duties, they help her reconcile, help her out with her accounting needs, and they help us maintain both our payroll reconciling and our finance reconciling, so.
And at one point, we talked about changing the auditors too.
Yep, so they're gonna put the RFP together to go
Oh,
out.
thank goodness. All right,
Status of DHS funding, that's been frozen yet again, that's kind of been pushed out again, so we'll see what happens there, it's basically every week or every 2 weeks,
we're
we'll
frozen by the state.
know a judge.
Shed.
The judge, a judge froze the suspension from the government, so. The website's going to be going through some changes over the next. I'm just gonna say year, but especially in the next 3 to 6 months. Everything's still gonna be posted where it should be posted, but it may not all be available at the same time on the website, so just be patient with us as we work through some of these changes. We're really trying to tighten up our security, put kind of take people off of Wi-Fi and put them on hardwired lines. We're really trying to take care of the county's resources and our IT resources against any and all attacks that are coming through. We last week, Friday, we had to talk to AirSpring about their contract and their services that they're gonna provide. So our direct contact with Lumen and contract with Lumen will stop. We'll have our Lumen contract through them. Our speed will increase, our support will increase. And we'll have the sheriff on his own network and his own backup through Starlink. And the courthouse and everybody else associated with the courthouse will have their own network and their own backup through Starlink.
And emergency power as well.
Well, we'll have a little bit,
Yeah, just minor stuff.
Yeah.
Not the whole board.
not if Black Hills does a full stop, right?
I asked John to take some pictures, and took a bunch of good pictures of what's going on, so we put together a story and put it on the net to let people know that we are working hard at cleaning up the IT and spending some good money, doing some good stuff to make it come to maybe the 21st century. We'll get into the 22nd century here pretty soon.
Yeah, well, if we can just keep up somewhat, but other than that, just working through those issues, so.
Yeah, I have a couple quick items. I had a quick meeting with Riley Johnson Architecture. Paige Phillips, he's the guy that will be putting together process of how we get the courthouse on the ballot for this coming year. And that we'll have a kickoff meeting on it, pulling together the schedule and items that we need to do, like update, make sure the footprint's what we want still, as well as the costing has to be updated, given the new costs. It's been 2 years, 3 years since we did it. And so we'll sit together and get all that outlined. Probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll have him put together a program for us to get online with. Water truck, Kelly did, I talked to Sue about the VIN number because they switched trucks on us. And do I have to sign anything else now? Or are we good with?
I think we're good.
You know, should we were able to switch the numbers and make everything work? Okay. And then Road and Bridge, I'm gonna have a couple meetings with those guys and so things, and then that's about it from now. And we got a problem making checks. Are we gonna get the checks made in time to get them out? We got an issue with it.
2 workarounds that to try and get that.
Okay. And let's see, when is the electronic checks are still gonna hit what days? Is it gonna be Friday or Thursday?
It's the last work, yeah.
Yes, what's up? It'll be tomorrow. So everybody rest easy. Well, yeah, that's all I got for now. Anything else here? How about Dan, you got anything for us?
I have nothing this week for you.
Feeling better?
If I was feeling better, I'd be there.
Better enough.
Better enough to be here.
Yeah, okay. All right, and given that, anything unfinished we need to bring back up? Okay, Paul.
No, no business when you do.
Okay, new business items, and we've eliminated two already, so it's gonna be a short day, hopefully. Accounts payable, this.
So I'll run through the AP that's over 5,000 through January 28th of this year. Workforce housing, Three Rocks Engineering and Surveying, the Village at Silver Cliff Survey. And Topos, $7,350. Health insurance, we entertain for January's coverage in the amount of just over 29,000. Elections and registrations, Liberty Vote annual election services, $15,665. Road and Bridge to Custom Truck and Equipment LLC for a water truck in the amount of $178,402. Road and Bridge to Seaford Enterprises for naturals, road base, $9,281. Road and Bridge to Southern Tire Mart for tires in the amount of $9,875. Road and Bridge to Upper Ark for desk control, for their yearly water stipend, $9,500. Custer County Kids Council, Stacy Terrell to Kate Kelstein Consulting for the early childhood needs assessment in the amount of 5,000. County Attorney Dan Slater for general filing for all offices, when departments and elected officials for $6,381. The only caveat would be for DHS there. So those are the amounts there.
Bottom line, what they, good.
So it's through 1/28 and the amount is $331,839.06.
Very
I move we accept the AP report.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Yeah,
Yeah, you mentioned the water truck and Mr. Canada mentioned that they switched numbers. What's the deal with that?
they actually they sell water trucks, and so there was the one that they looked at to see if it was the right kind. And that's when we were working with the axle, the correct axle on the front end of it. In the process of getting the paperwork ready, they sold it to somebody else, and there's another one that's identical to it. So they switched the VIN numbers, and that's the number I thought. So the truck's the same, and it's straightened out, so the sales went through.
So they sold the truck that we wanted.
Yeah, there was an identical model, so they, well, was kind of strange, but surprised us after I signed it, they were ready to go, and Vince went up to get it, it's gone.
Yeah.
But we got it, and I don't know when they're gonna deliver that, they have to wait till Friday. Good. And by the way, just so everybody knows, we've saved money too, because our shop foreman, Dan, is an expert at putting stencils on vehicles. Don't let that get around because he really does a great job, professional job. So he's got to stencil it up and it'll be on the road ready. Okay, any other discussion? Yeah, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of accepting the AP report, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul? Canada. Okay, next up is resolution 2605. Cash and check handling policy, Vernon. Come on up. You're the star of the show today. It's about the only thing.
Well, at least probably they won't be upstaged.
Okay, speak up.
All right. So we're trying a little bit new format. Policies will be approved by resolution that reference the policy so that we will have a recorded history showing how these policies are adopted and what they're used for. Would you like me to read
And
the
you
policy?
said, some also, we were gonna try to include, make it shorter, so there's not two copies. I forget what's our issue.
I'm sorry, I'm missing that.
More
I
efficient way.
think that's a different thing. That's when we like buy a vehicle, we're gonna try to have one resolution. When we
Okay.
do that as opposed to a budget resolution and then the authorization. That's
Wow.
different from what's going on here, though.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Go ahead.
So would you like me to read the resolution or just outline the check
Outline it.
handling policy? So the resolution is crafted to adopt the specific policy, and the policy we're referring to here is the check and cash handling policy. Essentially, this policy outlines the procedures that anyone who collects funds for the county will go through, including receipt handling, using two persons to verify the amounts and to do the actual check calculations, a daily log that is required by each department, showing what money has come in, what method the money was received by, either was it cash or check, was it through the mail, was it at the counter?
Donations or not.
It would be the same, and generally people donate at the treasurer's office. These are for instance, the public health, landfill, even road and bridge collects money at certain times. There will be a log that is kept to make certain that people are, excuse me, that we have a reference to go back to during our audit and internal investigations. Deposit frequency will be within 1 week of receipt. We looked at having it once a day, but that put an undue burden on for instance, the landfill having to drive in and get in before the treasurer's office closed every day. So we settled on 1 week being the deposit frequency. And then it outlines the approved places to store those checks, basically a locked cash box, or different systems for storing storing that money
In each
department. Yeah, and I'm working with each department to make certain that their procedures meet all of these expectations. And then records preservation, making certain that we can cross-reference reports of how much money is received, how much money we expected to receive. For instance, when we get money from, for instance, VaxCare or some type of external entity, how much money are we expecting to receive? Did we actually receive all of that? We've seen that certain grants, we may be expecting to get $10,000. They sometimes send us $9,000. We need to be able to reconcile that. We need to make certain that money, excuse me, that the proper amount that we were supposed to receive arrived. And if we didn't get it, we need to know why. So that's what this policy outlines, and it will be our touchstone and our guiding star for all check handling, or excuse me, cash receipting from this point forward.
Good.
So this is really something that well, we really worked with the treasurer on this because the treasurer is really in charge of the receiving of money. So and it all comes into her office eventually through the different departments. So thank you very much for working with Virginia on that. So
That way it probably cuts down how many different people are putting money in their tours, because they're focusing at first on the department and then bringing it over.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
And that was part of the challenge, making certain that there is a point of contact, essentially, saying this person has been designated as the responsible party to make certain that the money gets from a mailbox into a lockbox to the treasurer. Yep.
and recorded and all.
Good.
And just add to that, most of them had some system going, this just centralizes it, puts it all in.
Yep.
The same net.
Indeed.
Got a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept Custer County Resolution number 26-05, resolution for establishing a cash and check handling policy for Custer County government.
It's adopting resolution 2605.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution 2605. Any other discussion here? And then online, Jim, go ahead.
Brennan, this adoption, this creation of a policy separate from adopting a resolution containing the policy. Sounds like a new process within the county government operations. Is this unique to finance, or is it going to be?
This would be how all new policies are adopted.
And
Well,
it's, sorry, I didn't mean to bring
Hold on a second. Vern, you said first, then, Ann.
Well, I was pretty much.
Dan, go ahead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this a new way of doing business. We have done this throughout the past year with respect to other policies, HR policies in particular, personnel policies. So when we've adopted policy, and there was an IT policy we adopted last year by resolution. So it's something we are doing, but I wouldn't say this is the first time we've done it this way. This is just how we're doing it.
My recollection is that the policy itself is in the resolution as opposed to being a separate reference document.
No, this is a separate reference document.
No, I know this one is, but prior to, I thought the resolution had the policy in resolution.
Not necessarily. It depends on the situation. If we are adopting a change to a larger document, like the set of personnel policies, we would include that in the resolution. But if we're adopting a policy that is outlined on a separate document, which, like I said, I think the IT policy might have been something we did that way, it will reference the separate document. It's a situation specific kind of thing.
The last question, sorry to be such a bill. I assume that the policies go into a policy manual for training purposes and reference purposes for county staff.
And they go into a man.
Yeah, policy handbook. I'm composing a policy handbook of all the policies that we have, just as HR has composed a personnel handbook. I'm creating the policy handbook for that governs financial issues.
And we haven't had that before.
Getting paid
Not before.
that.
It's part of the job.
All right, anything online? Okay, with that, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of adopting resolution 2605, say aye. Paul.
Aye.
Lucas.
Aye.
Kanda. Okay, next
Thank you all.
is the resolution 2570, the road and bridge permit fees that we're finally getting back to.
Sounds like you.
And, well, this we started off, we
Oh, he's good.
he had a workshop some time ago, looking at all the fee schedules in the whole county, actually. Did it with Road and Bridge. And they had two major ones that they wanted to add to the fee schedule that they had. And one was a $600 fee for work if you had, that's a penalty, if you had done a culvert that you put on the road yourself. And we find out about it, which we would, because they're coming in building permits. Then we would charge a $600 penalty instead of $300. So you have to double the price on that. The other one was to clean out fee, because when we install culverts, they need to be cleaned out. Because they'll plug up, especially if they're not put in correctly, especially if it was put in a long time ago. And it'll back up and wash out the road. So he added a little surcharge that, because it's very expensive to do, takes time to do it. And we got a lot of culverts to $450 for cleanouts on the direct driveway access permits. So that's this gist of it, and that's resolution 2606, and I would move we adopt 2606 to add those 2 feet. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Tim?
This covers culverts on county right of ways, right?
Yeah, we do not install culverts in subdivisions.
Okay, just strikes me as odd, somebody put in a culvert that they shouldn't put in.
That's right, and that's why we penalize them.
A lot of the people that fills in, they put the plastic bird bones in, and they're supposed to be metal.
They gotta get the right size, and otherwise they create a problem and wash out our road.
Well, right, I'm just curious why people would think it's okay to
That's
modify the.
Until sometimes
They do.
they do. They
How,
do that all the
how
time.
does one go about requesting that?
They,
Go down a road bridge.
yeah,
Okay, so you just,
yeah, that's all. It's
it's okay, we got a water.
And they've got that. Yeah. You know, we did a big road clean out and road out by Lake Louise, and
Yeah.
first thing you know, they're putting rocks up against the right of way where plows would have to hit it. There's people make dumb mistakes all over.
Jim, just to add to that, culverts are usually the ones that are driveways adjacent to county road medians. Yeah.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of adopting resolution 2606 to add the 2 fees to the fees for the road bridge. Say aye, Lucas.
Aye.
Paul.
Well, something.
Canada, aye. Okay, I think the next one up, Lucas, you got. I believe.
Yeah, so Baseline Engineering Corp, they are, they're the company that put all the engineering and design together for the sidewalk project in front of the courthouse. This is being paid for by a grant through CDOT. So there was, that original grant was 250,000. We've spent around 60, 70 of it doing the engineering and design. Now we need to go into the construction phase of it. CDOT had a little extra money left over last year, so I applied for another $50,000 because they figured since 23 construction costs have gone up a little bit. Plus, we really have nobody within the county that can put bid documents together. And then go through the bid process coordination. So went out to Baseline to see if they would be, and CDOT is okay with this. They allow this for municipalities and counties our size, because they realize we don't have the staff on hand to do this. So they're going to put together a bid document prep for us for 6,000. And a bid process coordination of $4,750. So a total of $10,750. And as soon as we sign this, then I'll get together with Matt Pettit with CDOT and Baseline, and we'll start coordinating this project out throughout the year.
So is this money's not here. We pay for it and apply for it first,
Yes,
and that process is set up.
yes,
CDOT. CDOT's pretty good about it. They do it all.
they do. And they really they really help assist holding your hand through it, because they wanna see it succeed, so.
Right.
But that's what this is. Dan's looked at it. I did notice something on the back page under schedule, Dan. It needs to be changed to December 1st of 2026. So I'll talk to Mark with Baseline about that and I'll get that resent that.
I have to do it for the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is, they're gonna cut they're gonna give us room to walk, get out of the passenger side of the door.
Yes, so you'll be able to park along that front there and walk and open your door, the passenger door, and step right out onto a sidewalk instead of that hill that's.
And walk down to the stairway or over to the
Yeah.
ramp.
Yeah, over to the ramp, yeah. So it's all handicapped accessible. So that's why we cut that extra parking in. Towards the sheriff's department is.
Right.
Because that's gonna take parking out all summer long. We're gonna try to get this as soon as we can in the springtime. So as soon as they feel like they have the weather, they're gonna come up
Could
with that.
happen then in March.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Got a motion?
I'll make the motion, we want to put the 26 in the amendment. The standard form of agreement between us and the construction professional services. Medium client. Project number, yeah, that. The project number and name is 35077 CS Custer County Courthouse Cycle. This document is dated January 26, 26.
Yeah, I'll second that, and that's to approve, hiring baseline to the tune of $10,750. And the start date is, scheduled date is, but it can be completed by December 1, 2026. Okay. Any discussion? Here, more, pretty much try. Any discussion out in the oral here? Jim, you got a you must have something.
I'm just gonna listen to all you're saying.
Okay,
We're gonna need a flag.
yeah. All right, then I'll call for that vote too. All in favor of approving the standard form agreement for baseline, say aye, please. Focus. Aye. Paul,
Both line,
Kent, aye.
basically, as well.
Where are they at?
They're out.
I would guess so. I don't,
I believe-
no, well, I don't. Maybe Denver. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Learn Colorado. Okay. And darn it, anyway, we're out of time for stuff to do. Out of time. Given that, is there any other items of the business?
They have a weed board conference coming up February the 10th. I'll be in attendance with that along with Reggie and Joe, the chairperson for the weed board. All-day conference at the convention center in Pueblo.
Find a great guy out there.
He's gonna actually be at our meeting in February. It's coming soon, so I think it's the 19th. Our person that may be doing our spraying will be at that meeting. Give us a presentation to the board.
Good. Okay, Gavin, that's all we've got. Any other comments? Hearing none, I will adjourn this meeting at what that time is it? 9:38. Wow.